I think I might be having one myself actually. Morning, welcome to a bit of a rainy day after yesterday when it was 32 degrees. But anyway, we're on one of my estates where we do the simulated shooting, a place called Patmarsh over near Bridgnorth in Shropshire. And we've got a couple of guns here from Sportsman Gun Centre, who are the importers of ATA. And they've sent us the Black Action Supersport in a 12 gauge, 30-inch barrel. So we're going to tell you a few features about this and we're going to have a shot with it. But a lot more detail about this gun is in a review that I've done. It's in Clay Shooter. Click the link that's going to show up and you'll be able to go to that and it'll tell you a lot more about it, prices, etc. But I will tell you this gun is sub £1,000 and it's quite a good gun for that kind of money. So I'm going to take you through a few features really quick, then we're going to have a shot with it. So it's the Black Action. It comes with 2.5 grade wood. Yeah, so it's not 2, it's not 3, it's 2. 20mm recoil pad, a non-adjustable trigger, which I kind of expect on a gun of this kind of price range really. But it gets confused a lot with its bigger brother, that some people say is the Beretta. It's not a Beretta, it's not a copy of a Beretta, it doesn't shoot or behave like a Beretta. So let's just get that myth out of the way straight away. Double ventilated barrels, so you know you're into a competition level kind of gun, so we can vent off quickly if you're putting a lot of cartridges through it, which somebody like me can do quite easily actually. Single selective trigger ejector, so you can select either top barrel or bottom barrel depending on your preferences of how you're shooting, what discipline you're shooting, whether it's clays or Helise or simulated, or even if you're shooting it out in the field. It's a simple gun, it does exactly what it's supposed to do, it's designed for the market it's designed for, and it fits in there really well actually. The handling of this gun, and I'm going to show you on here now, it can change drastically. And I'm going to show you why, because a lot of people when they pick a gun up, and it doesn't matter about the quality or the expense of the gun, whether it's a bottom end market gun or a really expensive gun up there like the Paratzis, the Kriegoffs, etc, etc. They all have the same problem where people can get confused. And quite a few people, and me included actually, when they pick the particular 12 gauge ATA up, they get hold of it, there's nothing in it, they pick it up, they mount it, and they go, oh, it's a bit, ooh, and it feels very bulky. And the first thing that you appear to is you go straight to the fore end, because the fore end actually is, although it's very manageable for the gun, it does make it feel a bit cumbersome. But I'm going to show you something about this ATA that a lot of people probably won't even think about doing, and I'm going to show you what it is. Now I can tell you now that this is so front end heavy that it can die faster than a Kingfisher, and that's because of these particular chokes. Now this gun comes with 5 chokes. 2 of them are these monstrous 30mm extended chokes, and here's the thing. Now although they're heavy, and I'll show you why in a minute, they are quite ingenious as well. You've got a lovely banding around these chokes. So this one's got 3 bands. I don't know if Emily can zoom in on that, or we'll take a picture of it if not. So 3 bands, half choke, 4 bands, quarter choke. So it's a very easy, simple visualization. But what I love about these chokes is the way that they've machined them for gripping, for tightening and non-tightening, taking them out. they actually work. They're so effortless to take in and out. It's probably, believe it or not, one of the nicest chokes for taking in and out I've ever come across. But don't think they're brilliant, because like I said, and you've just seen, this really nosedives a lot. And for me, as you've seen in other videos, I don't like front end of your guns. I either like centre point balance or rear end balance, as I call it, so the gun tips down. But watch this. If you take these out, and go to the other 3 chokes, which are flush chokes, I'm just going to select 2. What have we got here? 2 notches, 3/4. We'll put that on the top. What's the next one? 5 notches, so that's skate. We'll put that on the bottom barrel. Remember, I showed you in one of the videos, wind your choke backwards first, and then the threads line up perfect. Now, what you can't do with a flush choke, that you can do with an extended choke, is tighten it up with your fingers. Choke key in, and just nip it up. Doesn't need to be going in like it's a bolt holding down a bridge. That's it, perfect. Now watch this. Hinge pin, same gun. What does it feel like? That's turned a sub £1,000 gun with a pointability, for me, very, very heavy. Like, it's really weighty. It's almost like picking up a scaffolding pole. And now, it's a totally different animal. It feels totally different. I've got my friend here today, Gaz. So he's going to have a shot with this as well. But he's just picked it up, and he said pretty much the same. It's a bit heavy, a bit forward heavy. He hasn't picked it up yet, but when he does, I know him, that he's going to go, that feels really nice. And if he was blindfolded, and you pick this up, and now put it in, you would think that this is a much more expensive gun. I go back into the forend, when I was saying earlier, that because it's so heavy at the front, it makes you feel as though it's the forend. Actually, the forend now sort of dissolves away. It becomes more part of the gun. So you aren't mentally going towards the forend being too big, too cumbersome. It isn't. It's the weight on this is actually coming from those 2 chokes. Well, we just mentioned the forend and the stock, or the checker-head, laser cut checker-head. It's put in the right places. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is grip a gun. It's a lovely little gun for the money. Black action, matte black, chrome barrels, chrome line, sorry. Fleur-de-lis, so it can shoot high performance steel. And who would this gun suit? Anybody, absolutely anybody. Somebody coming into the sport, somebody's been in the sport for a while, and you know, times are hard, or they just want something they can have a knockabout with. Honestly, it's a really clever gun. I like it. Ideal for shooting schools as well, because you can go, right, okay, we're gonna, you know, some of these big shooting schools are churning out thousands and thousands and thousands of cartridges every year that are going through guns, and I've seen some schools use some very expensive guns, and this will do exactly the same thing. And if it worn out in 12 months, it's cost you, I think, 850 quid, top of my head. So, nice. Top lever's good, nice size. Manual triggers. People have asked me, what's a manual trigger? We've got manual and inertia block. Manual trigger, you can put any cartridge in this, it's going to fire. Okay, I'm going to do a sin now, because some people will be going, oh, you can't fire a gun with that cartridge and you'll break the firing pins. Yeah, no, you won't. It takes thousands of rounds to do that. So here's the difference with a manual trigger. When you pull the trigger, there's nothing in it. The second one will just go off. You haven't got to wait for an inertia block on an expensive gun. But even some of the expensive guns have got manual trigger. But I want to show you this now. This is a sub £1,000 gun, and a gunsmith will know exactly what I'm doing now. And it's called timing. And this can show you the difference between even an expensive gun that's out of time. Now I've already checked the timing on this, and I want him to focus on the ejectors, how the timing is absolutely perfect on these. Those ejectors will pop both at the same time, and generally you only get that on very well put together guns. Watch, bang. Yeah, now that to me might not mean much to you lot, but to me that just goes to show that a relatively cheap gun has been really well put together internally. I've seen some very expensive guns, and I won't mention them manufacturers because it's pretty much all of them, where that timing's been out. And you'll have seen it now that you've seen it. You've gone, yeah, I've seen cartridges. One comes out, followed by another one. Anyway, that's that to me is cool. I like that. One thing I don't like, and I mention this a lot in reviews, is the safety catch. The safety catch to me is just, it can differentiate a really good quality gun, and they can spoil it by these nasty safe catches. Yes, it's functional, yes it works, it'll select the barrel, but it just feels tacky, to be honest. But it works. But that's really, other than I do like to see adjustable triggers, but you know, a gun for 850 quid, you can't complain. So we're going to come back in a minute, we're just going to have a shot. Okay, we're going to start off, you're shooting a going away bird. I think some of you have seen other videos where I say, look, don't keep your expectations real, especially when you're buying a new gun. Start on something that's easy and just work up. So we're going to shoot the going away first. Yesterday I was on a simulated down at EJ Churchill's. So I've got a mixture of cartridges, all fibre, apart from these, which is the Bashiri Pelagri Green Core, which I've just written about, which are just like, wow. So I'm going to shoot a mixture, all fibre, got Bashiri Pelagri, Fiocchi F3s, Express Supercom, Express Power Gold, Express, the new Power Blue 24 gram from Express. So yeah, I've literally got a mixture in here. Oh, there you go. So, well, looks like we've got two Power Blue. Fibre. Pull. Okay. Right. You notice there I was a little bit hesitant for me. Now that I've shot it, it's very different when you're standing and you're just pulling the trigger manually. When you shoot a target, I'm used to quite a light trigger, so I now know that I've got to put a bit more effort in with this trigger. So it's a bit what I call a bit woolen, which I'd expect on a gun of this level, to be honest. Pull. And it still caught me out, but there we go. All right, let's have the crosser gas, please. Fiocchi now, F3, Bashiri's Pelagris, Sporting and Compact in Green Core. Going to shoot a right to left crosser now. See if I can get my brain to work to tell me I've got to pull this trigger a little bit harder. Okay. Pull. There you go, bud. Just a touch behind that one. Two more. Pull. Well, you can see from that that the cartridges work, which I knew they would. It killed them no problem at all. It's when the pilot can get it in the right place. So we're going to, we've got a trap on the bank up here now. So we're going to shoot this. It's supposed to be a pheasant, but we're standing far enough back for it to be stalling a bit. So let's see what we have on here. Got a few. Mixture, Express Supercomp, Bashiri Pelagri, Green Core. One off the bank, please, guys. Pull. Let it come in. And there you go. Got some 24 gram in here now. Pull. It come in through it. A bit earlier that time. Coming through it. There you go. So we shot that a lot further out. Let me just grab a cartridge. So you sort of just shot the same clay in two different places there. That trigger is going to be a lot heavier than a competition grade gun, but other than that, it's shooting smooth. And the triggers on each barrel's the same. You get some cheaper models and one trigger pulls different than the other. This is identical. Okay, pull. Coming through it. Coming through it. Yeah, they're good kills, aren't they? So there you go. We've shot a going away, a right to left, a hanging target, a driven target, quite a way out actually, like, wasn't it? Loads of different shells. 24 gram, 28 gram, fibre, green core, Bashiri Pelagri, Fiocchi, Express. So yeah, it works. It shoots really nice. I've got two things that are the safety catch, can't do anything about that, and the trigger for me. But if I was to shoot one of these, I'd just have it lightened. But don't forget, I'm used to a competition grade trigger, so that is a really clever gun actually. I quite like it. I'd have no problem putting any of my students on this who are learning to shoot. I'd have no problem using this on a corporate day. In fact, I think these would be brilliant on a corporate day, because you get some guns that are corporate guns and they're just, ugh. This isn't. It's a good gun. Yeah. So there you go.